Hello viewers and welcome back to McElroy's Motors, home of the weird, the boring, the projects, and the adventures. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. In today's video, if you recall to last week's video where I sold my 1997 Saturn SL1 to my friend Alicia, I said the following.
I should have a new car hopefully by the next month.
Well, guess what? That turned out to be a lie because tomorrow I'm heading over to Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, to pick up my new-to-me car. It is a very, very rare car, and it's also a very, very weird car, which I absolutely love. And what I mean by weird is the fact that it was sold at Chrysler dealerships, but it's not a Chrysler product at all. In fact, it's basically half French, sharing a chassis with a Renault car. It is designed by Italians, it has a German transmission, and it was assembled in Canada. So it's a very weird car indeed. But I am super excited about it because I used to have one of these as my very first car, so it brings back a crap ton of memories. So it is now time to cue the music. Well guys, it is now day 2, well the end of it anyway. I do apologize for any lack of footage of us driving from Ohio to Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania to go pick up our car. We had a bit of some navigation issues and whatnot, and plus we got off to a really late start. We didn't get home till about an hour ago and it's well after 2 a.m. now. So I'll show you guys the car first thing in the morning. Right, it is now the morning and I am now officially excited, with my shirt inside out, to show you my new-to-me car. And like I said, it is very weird and very rare. And if you guys have been my longtime followers, you'll note that I made a video documenting the top 25 cars I would like in my dream garage. And don't worry, it's not this Toyota Prius station wagon that's behind me. So allow me to introduce you to my 1990 Eagle Premier. Now you guys may be wondering, why would I trade in my old Saturn, which was fantastic on fuel, great with reliability, and finding parts for it was relatively easy given the car's age, as opposed to this, which is neither one of those things. This thing's hard to find parts for, it's not known for the best reliability record out there, and for being a Chrysler built car, servicing this thing can prove challenging. Well, let me tell you, like I said earlier in the video, I used to have one of these as my very first car. I was 17 years old. I bought one for $920, not knowing what the hell I was getting myself into, but I just figured it was a really cool car, and after I came home with it, I realized that, hey, I've actually never seen the Eagle Premier before. I wonder how rare this car was. My first one was in 1991, and it was one of 11,000 built, so this is being a 1990 is one of 14,000 built. So as soon as I saw this car come up for sale, the guy was not looking to get rich off of it by any stretch of the means. He was just using the money to fund another project, which was an equally rare Dodge Rampage. But at the same time, I am just so thrilled because like I said, as soon as I saw this car come up for sale, I jumped on it. I could not resist it. And the fact of being only about 100 miles away from my house definitely made things a lot smoother. However, I do have to get Ohio tax for it. It's running on a Pennsylvania historic vehicle tag right now until I get the title transferred. So I'm just so excited about having my first car again, and it's just such a nostalgic, awesome, quirky place to be because all the controls are not where you expect them to be, with the climate controls being right here, the headlight controls being on the other side, and if you adjust the steering wheel, you can see the climate controls move with it. It's very odd. The radio is right here, and it's just amazing how quirky this is because not only do you have to buckle the shoulder belt right up here on the right hand side, but you also have to fasten the lap belt on your right hand side as well. So it's very odd. Another thing that's odd about it is the hood release is next to the driver's seat, as well as the fuel door release is right behind that. The trunk release is in the glove box, and the hazard light switch is up here. It's just like, who thought of this? And yet this is an American designed interior. It may look like it's all French, but the guy who designed it was Dick Teague of the American Motors Corporation, to which this car was the successor of. Chrysler bought out AMC in 1987. This car was known as the Renault Premier, as a prototype, and then they just switched over to Eagle because they wanted to revive AMC as a whole. Did it work? Absolutely not. Nobody bought these cars. Nobody wanted them. Nobody cared for them. They were just like, oh yeah, it's just another Renault. Big whoop. We don't want our French cars here in the United States. They're just too fancy for us. For a car that I paid $1,300 for, it is absolutely staggering how clean this car really is on the inside. You can see hardly any tears, no stains in the seats, and this is exactly how I found it. The only minor tear is that small little cigarette burn you can see towards the passenger side door panel. But that is it. It does not smell like cigarettes in here at all. It actually smells really good. It's very comfortable. The headliner definitely needs replacing though. That is for something I gotta for sure work on. But for $1,300 and being as rare as this car is, you'll be completely surprised what the previous owner had given me. If I pop the trunk, as you can see, I got some spare parts, which is amazing. I got brake calipers, I got rear brake calipers, I got brake pads, I got brake shoes, I got filters, bearings, and all sorts of stuff, even a transmission gasket, even the original service manual. And the car also came with the original owner's manual as well. He gave me some fluids as well, which is nice. But even though I'm missing the rear badges to the trunk, it is kind of awesome to have them being completely gone because nobody knows what they're following. And if you're wondering what that thing is on the shelf, that is the actual horn pad to my first car. I've kept it after all these years, just thinking maybe one day I'll own one of these again. And sure enough, here it is in all its Italian design glory. But you can see the front seats are in really good shape too. The only reason why I got pizza boxes is because we went to go get pizza the day we picked this up. But all in all, it's in really good shape minus the headliner. The only thing I do have to replace in here besides that is the hazard light switch, because that unfortunately broke several years ago. But the turn signals do work, the brake lights work, all the lights work, which is good. And I'm just amazed. And the windshield does not have any cracks, there's no dents, there's hardly any rust. And what's even more amazing is I had a chance to look underneath this car because the guy had a lift, and this car had hardly any rust underneath, which is amazing because this car was sold new in Kansas. So this car spent most of its life in the western part of the Union, away from the Rust Belt, and then it came to Kentucky in 1999, and then it was brought over to Pennsylvania by the previous owner. So yeah, it is a very odd car, and it's definitely lived a long life, but for a car this old, it runs and drives exceedingly well. It is a little on the loud side because there's a little minor exhaust leak, but because this car is old enough to be exempt from Ohio's emissions tests, because it is over 25 years old, it's almost 40 years old at this point, it actually doesn't bother me at all. It's actually not that loud, it's just a little crude. But I am so excited about having my first car all over again. It just brings back such great memories. Mine had the lower gray body cladding like this one does. This is an ES model like my first car was. And it's so nostalgic. I love it. It is so hideous, yet so handsome at the same time. Giugiaro was definitely a interesting designer for sure. And to think that this was supposed to be a Renault when it was supposed to be sold, it just blows my mind. And what's even more interesting about this car is the fact that they sold it as the Dodge Monaco from 1990 till 1992, thinking it will help sell these cars even more than their lackluster sales as they were. But that didn't help either. In 1990, they sold only 4,730 Dodge Monacos, but by 1992, that number had dropped to just over 1,900. So yeah, this car is extremely rare. Like I said, this is one of 14,000 Eagle Premiers sold for 1990. Now, if there's one thing that is actually missing in this car, is the radio. The radio is there, but it doesn't work, so I have to replace that. But in the same time, I am planning on upgrading it soon because I want to actually restore that radio and bring it back to health because it is such a rare piece. And one thing I would like to do is probably put like Bluetooth or something like that just to keep it up with modern times. I've already been in touch with the place I got my Saturn's head unit from, and they're willing to work with it, which is quite surprising because of how rare the car is. But I am just so happy, and we'll be definitely doing some adventures in this car once I get it fixed up, because there's one issue that the car does have, and that is the fan keeps going even when the car is switched off. I just gotta unplug the fuse every time. Not a big deal. You guys can see the weird turn signal lever here. It returns to center when you turn the turn signals on, and it makes a chiming noise as well. It's so 80s, it hurts. But for a car that came out in 1988, this was a hugely groundbreaking car. I mean, you gotta think, the Ford Taurus was known for its aerodynamic shape, but this thing had the technology that the Ford Taurus only could just dream about. Sure, the Ford Taurus was revolutionary in design, but it was still just an ordinary American car underneath. This was different, this was unique, this was really, really cutting edge for its time. But what's even more crazy about this car is not only did I get all those spare parts in the trunk, but this thing has brand new front brakes. It's got shocks that are brand new all the way around. And for $1,300, I could have spent easily twice that money, and it was still been a good find. This car only has 42,000 miles. We don't know exactly how many miles it has. The odometer stopped at 34,651, but the previous owner has put about 10,000 miles on it since. So we're thinking about 42 to 44,000 miles. It all depends, really. But at the same time, I'm not worried about it because the odometers in these cars are known for getting stuck, so it's not a big deal there. But this car also has a service monitor on it, and that will tell you if it has any bulbs that are burnt out or indeed any fluids that are low, and that still works after all these years. The trip computer still works, but I gotta get the light bulb for that. It's just amazing how much it actually works on this car. The AC does not work, but that's okay because it takes R12 refrigerant, but everything else does. The heat works, and all the lights work, like I said, and overall it's just not a bad car for how little I paid. Under the hood of my Eagle Premier is where it gets a little interesting despite having a Renault chassis. This engine is a 3-liter overhead cam V6 with port fuel injection, and it is known simply as the PRV, which stands together for the 3 companies that came together to make this engine: Peugeot, Renault, and Volvo. This engine, in one form or another, was shared with the DeLorean, and back in its day, back in 1988, was good for 150 horsepower and 171 pounds-foot of torque. It was also supposed to be a 2.5-liter Jeep-designed 4-cylinder with 111 horsepower, but who knows how many of those were made because we cannot find any out there anywhere. So I think all the 4-cylinder Premiers are definitely extinct. Upon closer inspection, you can see just how clean it actually is under here. Yeah, it's a little dirty, but then again, this car sat in a garage for the most part of 6 months. That's the reason why the whole car is dirty on the exterior. But it's all there. I mean, my washer fluid is intact. The exhaust manifold does not have any cracks. There's a very small oil leak, but it's nothing serious. But if you'll notice that this is a front-wheel drive car, but the engine is laid out in a way in which it appears rear-wheel drive because the transmission is behind the engine as opposed to next to it. But it is a very unusual engine because you don't see a PRV engine in a family car these days. In fact, ever. The only other one I can think of is the Talbot Tagora that was sold in Europe. But that's pretty much it. But the only way you could tell it's a PRV, there's like a label in this engine somewhere. I do know where it's at, but I just have to kind of remember because it's been so long since I've seen one. But you got your power steering reservoir there. You got your brake fluid there. It all looks good. You got your washer fluid bottle there. Your oil goes here, and that's where your coolant goes. And for a car that is known for overheating, I am absolutely astounded to see that this thing does not leak any coolant at all. Okay, it does a bit, but it's nothing serious. It just leaks right here and then down into the heater core. But that's it. It just bleeds out just a little bit. But this car does not overheat, which is a good thing because these cars are so known for it. So what are my plans for this very rare bird? For one thing, I would like to tell you guys, I do plan on driving it as a daily for a little while, even though that is a very brave thing for me to do. But hopefully by summer I can have like a more modern, at least more reliable daily driver. And as much as I miss the Saturn, I don't miss it at the same time. I mean, sure, that car was good to me, but I wanted something a little bit more quirky. And this thing is no doubt quirky. It does run, it does drive, and I do plan on restoring it. After I get to see some more modern daily, I'm going to use this car strictly for fun because it brings back a lot of memories and I just don't want to put too many miles on it. It already has 45,000 miles, and with parts being very hard to find, I don't want anything to break in the future. I want to preserve it. So my goal is, once I get myself a more modern daily, I'm going to plan on restoring this car. I'm going to paint it silver like my first car was, and hopefully I can find the wheels that my first car had, even though that is probably rarer than hen's teeth or finding 2 penguins mating in Pittsburgh that are painted purple. Who knows? But either way, we'll definitely make this like a little project. I might leave the headliner the way it is because this car is 36 years old. But at the same time, I'm just so excited about this, and I am deeply excited to share this car with you guys because apart from one Eagle Premier that actually did belong to me being featured on the YouTube channel Neighborhood Car Reviews, I can't really think of another YouTube channel this day and age that actually has one that they're using as a daily for the time being. So if you want to see more of this car, feel free to subscribe to McElroy's Motors because we're going to do a lot of things to this car. We're going to clean it up, we're going to grease all the points, grease all the wiring, make sure everything is nice and clean. And in next week's video, we'll definitely work on cleaning this car for absolute certain because the weather here has definitely been hit or miss as it is April now. But at the same time, I am definitely looking forward to this car. And that concludes this video for today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give a big thumbs up and like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Take care.